Very good morning and warm welcome to Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us begin by taking a look at the top stories that we are following this hour. Prime Minister announces 745 crore rupee package for Jammu and Kashmir to renovate houses and major hospitals damaged in floods. Spends Diwali with soldiers in Siachen and flood victims in Srinagar. No Diwali niceties on the India-Pak border though. Pakistan again violates ceasefire in Samba sector in Jammu. Pak Parliament passes resolution asking for UN intervention. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari says he is not in the race for Chief Minister's post in Maharashtra. Canadian lawmakers vow to hold on to the nation's openness despite the Parliament terror attack in Ottawa. And European Union leaders reach landmark deal to cut greenhouse emissions by 40% by 2030 compared with 1990 levels. Now, flood-ravaged Jammu and Kashmir is to get a central package of 745 crore rupees for repair and renovation work. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the grant on a Diwali visit to the state yesterday. The Prime Minister has directed the central government officers to expedite the examination of the memorandum for the special financial package comprising 570 crores for the renovation of houses and 175 crore rupees to renovate 6 major hospitals in the state. Now, Modi emphasized the need for providing immediate relief to the affected and the restoration of normal life, saying that the nation stands behind the people of Jammu and Kashmir in this hour of need. Several delegations of representatives of hoteliers, houseboat owners and political leaders met the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's day out in Kashmir. On Diwali day, before reaching Srinagar, he also made a stopover in Siachen.
शायद ऐसा पहले कभी नहीं हुआ होगा। मैं कुछ चोटियों तक हो आया हूं जहां -30 डिग्री टेम्परेचर रहता है, जहां हमारे जवान तैनात है। मैं उस ऊंचाई से भारतवासियों को भारत के लिए जीने मरने वाले जवानों के साथ खड़ा रह करके एक विशिष्ट रूप में दीपावली की शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
In Srinagar, Modi spent time with the flood-affected people, meeting a few delegations at the Raj Bhavan, visiting a relief camp and some more places that suffered the worst damage.
सियाचिन में जहां पे दिन प्रतिदिन जीना दुर्भर है, जहां जिस तरीके के हालात हैं उसमें हमारे सिपाही जिस तरीके से डटे हुए हैं, इस तरीके के दौरे से उनके मनोबल को बहुत बड़ा जो है उत्साह बढ़ेगा उनका। और मेरे ख्याल से ये बहुत ही अच्छा कदम उठाया है जो प्रधानमंत्री ने उठाया है।
But the visit itself was not without its share of controversy, with the opposition parties dismissing it as a publicity stunt ahead of elections.
Flood victim से ज्यादा जो चिंता उनकी है वो चुनाव की है, उसके लिए वो लोगों को मिलजुल रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं।
The Congress said Modi should focus on bringing real relief to the victims.
मैं कहूँगा कि मोदी जी वहाँ जा रहे हैं, लेकिन वहाँ पे लोगों की मदद भी करनी चाहिए। कश्मीर बहुत बड़ा है, मुझे नहीं मालूम वो कहाँ दिवाली मनाएंगे, कहाँ नहीं मनाएंगे, लेकिन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मदद सरकार को वहाँ करनी चाहिए। वहाँ के हालात बहुत ख़राब हैं।
All shops, business establishments and government offices across the valley were closed on a Bandh call given by the separatists. Various groups also used the Prime Minister's visit to put forth their demands. The Jammu and Kashmir National Panthers Party sought the scrapping of Article 370.
Today Hurriyat is protesting, tomorrow National Conference will protest. Day after tomorrow it will be time of PDP or some other Kashmir-based political group. We have to change our mind. Jammu Kashmir is a problem. And what's the problem? As long as Article 370 continues, this problem cannot be settled.
But along with the brickbats, there were also some bouquets for the Prime Minister.
जिस तरह से जितनी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मदद हुई वो सबसे पहले की गई। इससे वहाँ के लोग बहुत प्रभावित हैं। उन अलगाववादियों को तकलीफ इस बात की हो रही है क्योंकि मोदी जी दिवाली मनाने जा रहे हैं। उन्हें तकलीफ इस बात की हो रही है क्योंकि वहाँ के जो कश्मीरी हैं वो कश्मीरी अवाम अब भारत सरकार के साथ, गवर्नमेंट के साथ मिलकर चलना चाहती है।
Close to 300 people died and more than 1.5 million people were affected by the floods in Jammu and Kashmir. The centre had declared the floods a national calamity in view of the heavy damage. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
But there were no Diwali niceties from across the border as Prime Minister Modi visited Jammu and Kashmir. Even hours before Prime Minister Narendra Modi reached Srinagar, Pakistani rangers once again resorted to unprovoked firing on some BSF posts along the international border in Jammu and Samba. Now, official sources say that the small arms fire started on the forward BSF positions at around 11:20 am. It stopped 5 minutes later before restarting at 11:40 am. Now, in a related development, the Pakistan Parliament has passed a unanimous resolution against what it calls indiscriminate ceasefire violations by India and asked the government to seek UN intervention to resolve the Kashmir issue. And Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has firmly rejected speculation that he is in the running for the post of Maharashtra Chief Minister. Gadkari said that he is happy in Delhi, even amid reports that his supporters' pitch for him to be made the Maharashtra Chief Minister had actually annoyed the BJP leadership. Now, Gadkari's remarks came after State BJP President Devendra Fadnavis said to be the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Party President Amit Shah's choice for Chief Minister met him at his Nagpur residence. Fadnavis had been the frontrunner for Chief Minister till Tuesday, till at least 40 BJP lawmakers from Vidarbha arrived at Gadkari's home and demanded that he be given the post.
देवेंद्र फडणवीस और मैं हम एक ही पार्टी के, वो मेरे सहयोगी हैं और उनको राजनीति में मैंने लाया है। और आप जिस प्रकार से बार बार वो और मेरे में स्पर्धा इस प्रकार का जो दिखाते वो उचित नहीं है। हमारे पार्टी में ऐसी कोई स्पर्धा नहीं है। जहां तक मैंने पहले ही जाहिर किया है कि मैं महाराष्ट्र में आना नहीं चाहता, मैं दिल्ली में खुश हूं।
All right, we'll step into a very short break here. On the other side, the UK donates an additional £80 million to fight against Ebola as a fresh case is detected in the United States. That and much more on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. On to some international news. And Canadian police released a video of the sequence of events just minutes before a lone gunman attacked the country's parliament on Wednesday. The attack has jerked the nation into high gear. Prime Minister Stephen Harper has vowed to strengthen the nation's anti-terrorism laws and has said that Canada will not be intimidated by such violence.
No fiction feature, this is for real. Shocking visuals of what happened in the run-up to Wednesday morning's attack on the country's parliament. The video shows how the suspect, identified as 32-year-old Michael Zehaf Bebu, instills panic in the parliament precinct as he threatens people with his gun.
The lead vehicle is a minister's vehicle that is occupied by a driver. The suspect goes around to the front of the car. There's some exchange with the driver. The driver exits the vehicle and runs away. The suspect then drives towards center block. It is at this point that those actions were noticed by RCMP officers, that vehicle that is moving with the door open and pursuing the suspect vehicle.
Hours after the attack, the Canadian government has come out with plans to bolster laws and police powers. But in a nation where the openness of political institutions is a deeply cherished article of faith, the attack has raised questions over the security measures. Prime Minister Stephen Harper said the country will be vigilant but will not be deterred by the attack and run scared.
We will be vigilant, but we will not run scared. We will be prudent, but we will not panic. And as for the business of government, well, here we are in our seats, in our chamber, in the very heart of our democracy, and our work that our laws and police powers need to be strengthened in the area of surveillance, detention, and arrest. They need to be much strengthened. And I assure you, Mr. Speaker, that work, which is already underway, will be expedited.
Zehaf Bebu shot dead a soldier at Ottawa's War Memorial near Parliament before being gunned down by a sergeant-at-arms, Kevin Vickers. There has been no apparent link to extremists, but he had expressed intent to travel to Syria. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And European Union leaders have reached a landmark deal to cut greenhouse emissions by 40% by 2030 compared with the 1990 levels. Now, the deal was reached after heated discussions at the summit in Brussels, as some members had argued that their varied interests should be protected. Experts say that the deal could make the EU a leader again in climate policy. The bloc also aims to boost the use of renewable energy to 27% in the total energy mix. There were deep divisions within the EU on emissions cuts. Poland and the UK had opposed binding targets on reduction of carbon emissions and raising reliance on renewable energy.
It was not easy, not at all, but we managed to reach a fair decision. It sets Europe on an ambitious yet cost-effective climate and energy path. Climate change is one of the biggest challenges of mankind. Ultimately, this is about survival. It is the example of a long-term policy.
And in other news, the UK has pledged a further £80 million aid towards the fight against Ebola in West Africa. Now, this brings Britain's total donation for anti-Ebola measures to £205 million. British Prime Minister David Cameron also told European leaders that they should commit more resources to containing and eradicating the virus. In the UK, screening for passengers from affected countries started at the Gatwick Airport on Tuesday. Now, this comes after Heathrow Airport began screening last week. Meanwhile, Mali, which borders Guinea, has announced its first case of Ebola in a 2-year-old girl. She recently returned from the neighboring Guinea. There is also another case in the United States. In New York, a physician who recently returned to New York from West Africa has also tested positive for the disease. Dr. Craig Spencer displays the Ebola symptoms.
We don't have a clear understanding yet of how long he had been in the neighborhood since he returned from Guinea, but we don't want people to panic. We want people to know that government authorities at all levels have taken this with the utmost of seriousness.
And even as the deadlock continues on the streets of Hong Kong, China has made assurances to keep its commitment to autonomy for Hong Kong. Wrapping up the plenum of the Communist Party of China, the members promised a series of legal reforms aimed at providing greater independence to the judiciary in Hong Kong. It promised to expand the scope of the independence of the judiciary to protect the individual rights, but only under the party's leadership. The plenum vowed to practice the concept of one country, two systems. The pro-democracy protesters have been at loggerheads with the Hong Kong administration for almost a month now, demanding China revoke the law to vet candidates for the 2017 Hong Kong polls. And let's now take a look at some other news and updates from around the globe in our World Wrap. All right, we'll get you all the news and updates from around the world after a short break. Stay with us. Break. Welcome back after the break, and now to our segment on Diwali celebrations. Well, Diwali celebrations in our metro cities have left behind a lot of the traditional ceremony associated with the festival, turning more contemporary with the changing times. Let's take you on to a Diwali Mela in the national capital, which reflected this new equation.
The Diwali Mela itself a modern concept. Bringing together all the different colors of the festival under a single symbolic umbrella. The annual Diwali Mela, small or big, is an occasion to bond with our cultural roots, acquaint children with the wealth of India's cultural heritage, while enjoying the commercial delights of modern entertainment.
Diwali is a festive season, so everybody, I mean, it's a festival for whole year. So we always look forward to celebrating in a bigger way.
It's a concept that has taken off in a big way. The annual Deep Utsav at Delhi Haat, organized by the Sahitya Kala Parishad, is among the biggest Diwali events on the city calendar. From the latest fashion trends to vibrant traditional handicraft that reflects the depth of India's cultural tradition, all sparking off an exciting shopping spree. Diwali or Deepavali literally means a row of earthen lamps. Light, prosperity and joy are the festival's essential themes. And lighting the diya has taken on many contemporary forms. Here's a unique one using bottles.
Basically, we do recycling of product, which you can see like everything is recycled and handmade and hand created, because everybody is talking about the environment, but nobody is actually doing this work.
Another big draw were the kandils, made up of organic, crepe, handmade and kite paper, with their unique feel and flavor. Or if you have a fancy for earthen lamps and candles, this is definitely the place to visit for the sheer array of diyas with innovative designs. Spice that up with folk dances and varieties of festival cuisine from around the country, and it's quite an evening, quite a celebration.
Delhi Haat seems to be the heart for the shopping lovers, be it the usual times or the festive season. So this year again, it is back with its Diwali Mela, the Deep Utsav, which offers a wide variety of fashion, the rich culture, the beautiful lights and the stunning lamps that adds to the joy of people. So here I wish you a very happy and a safe Diwali. With camera person Nakul, Kaur for Rajya Sabha TV.
And every Diwali, Indian idols face strict competition from their cheaper Chinese counterparts, but not this time. Indian crackers, diyas and idols were back in demand, all because of a better quality, cheaper rates and a concerted government campaign. Like every other year, Diwali brought profits for the markets and new opportunities for the artists who worked tirelessly for their lives.
अब दिवाली का काम जब आता है तो हम 1.5-2 महीने पहले लग जाते हैं इसमें हम काम करने के लिए, क्योंकि काफ़ी चीज़ें होती है, हर तरह की अलग अलग आइटम होती है, तो सारे वो रेडी करनी पड़ती है, उसमें थोड़ा जल्दी लगना पड़ता है जब तैयार होता है माल हमारा.
But this year proved to be special for the artisans for a different reason. The made-in-China idols, always irresistible in the past, saw a dip in the sales. Not only because local artisans gave them tough competition, but also the appeals made by the government to shun Chinese products struck a chord.
Would rather not like to go in for Chinese stuff, would like to promote Indian stuff, provided I think so we need to look into somebody promoting handicrafts from India. I would very much like that our handicrafts also find a place in the global market.
This year, many people opted for eco-friendly Diwali celebrations. Fancy Chinese fireworks also fell out of favor as vendors were afraid of being penalized for violating government guidelines.
With the government imposing the Explosives Act, the Chinese fireworks and crackers have almost lost their sheen this time around in the Indian markets. People are coming to the markets with the main focus of buying eco-friendly crackers and fireworks. These crackers are less dangerous as to the ones which are imported from outside.
Chinese मांगने जरूर आते हैं हमारे पास, लेकिन हम Chinese रखते नहीं हैं, क्योंकि उसके अंदर जौन सा है पता नहीं, चलाते ऊपर हैं, कहीं साइड में चले जाता है, कभी इधर साइड में चले जाता है, हम उसको बिल्कुल यूज़ नहीं करते. हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने भी उसको जौन सा है पसंद नहीं किया है, मना किया है हम लोगों को, इसलिए हम बिल्कुल नहीं रखते.
This year also saw a fall in the demand of Chinese lights. People preferred traditional diyas and other decorative indigenously produced items.
There is a slight change, I would say. In the first year, there is definitely a lot of people are definitely going by the, even if you go by the toys and the crackers and the different molded products which we use in Diwali day in day out. So those definitely people are willing to understand the dynamics of the change and say, okay, if we buy these Indian products, probably it will be better for us to move forward on this economy way. So people have understood that culture, and there's a change which is happening in our system. But definitely, as I mentioned earlier, also like it's a start. It's a start. Definitely, there is a slip in the demand of the Chinese products. If we really go by the recent data.
Experts feel the Make in India campaign has caused a significant impact. Whatever be the case, this Diwali, it was the vendors and the artisans who had the last laugh.
Lights, diyas and crackers are synonymous with Diwali. This year, the Swadeshi will has enthused the people to come out in large numbers and buy Indian products and goods. This will not only help the economy of our nation, but also boost the morale of these artists who are working day and night to support their livelihood.
Well, among the big issues post-Diwali celebrations every year is the soaring air pollution due to fireworks. And with many still finishing off the Diwali cracker stock, things are not likely to get better soon. Now, System of Air Quality Weather Forecasting and Research says that pollution levels in the capital will be worse than Beijing over the next couple of days, with the air pollution index rising to 450 ppm from 220 ppm. However, a delay in the onset of the winter season will result in lower pollution levels. And moving on to another aspect of Diwali celebrations, gifts. From bulk purchases by corporates to hand-picked exclusive gifts by families for their dear ones, the trend for gifts is just getting bigger and more expensive. Take a look.
Festival of Lights, the sheer variety on display has made the search for the perfect gift just a little more tougher. Be it traditional, modern or personalized, there's so much to choose from. For the traditional, you can pick from a variety of Ganeshas, puja thalis or candle stands. The array of modern gifts range from home decor to subtle bling-free gifts.
So instead of going to the pure silver thing, people are preferring the plated one because they are electro-lacquered, they are cheaper, they won't tarnish.
Little tea lights and the mithai and all, it's gone up above. We have colorful votives, we have big candle holders and, really traditional and modern, definitely. And we have other things like household items like trays, coasters and everything.
Dry fruits, sweets or candles. Nothing comes in dull printed boxes anymore. Lending their own festive touch, shopkeepers have introduced attractive and embellished packaging.
People have become really conscious about, gifting and everything. So we also work like that, like we have beautiful boxes for each gift because, presentation is everything. So we really have to take care of that.
There is no dullness to the gift exchanges, from designer glassware to candles, silverware to artistic products. Families and friends are exchanging anything that catches their fancy.
And the BSE Sensex and the Nifty rose sharply in a special Muhurat trading session for Diwali on Thursday, celebrating the slew of reforms announced by the government over the past few weeks, while hoping for continued foreign fund inflows into the country also boosted sentiment. Now, Samvat 2071 started on a cheerful note for stock investors, with the market ending firm in the 60-minute trading known as Muhurat on Thursday, bucking the weak trend in the other Asian markets. Mid and small cap stocks outperformed their larger peers in the special session, which is held to mark the beginning of the traditional new year. And now a look now at the global stock markets, and the US stocks rallied on Thursday on strong company earnings and encouraging economic reports in Europe and Latin America. Well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by 216.58 points or 1.32% to close the trading at 16,677. Looking at the Standard & Poor's 500, well, it gained 23.71 points or 1.23% to end its business at 1950. The Nasdaq Composite added 69.95 points or 1.6% to finish at 4,452. Also, the Asian stocks rose with the regional indices extended its first weekly gain in 7 weeks after US earnings beat the estimates and data signaled a stronger European growth. Now, Japan's Nikkei is up by 1.12% or 169.26 points to 15,308 at the start of the today's trading. Hong Kong's Hang Seng rose 0.30% or 70.32 points to 23,333 at the start of trading. Let us now take a look at updates from all the sports arena in our Sports Beat. Atletico de Kolkata defeated FC Goa 2-1 in an electric Indian Super League football match on Thursday. Although hosts Goa scored the first goal through Andre Santos, Kolkata first equalised and then took the lead to seal their third win in 4 games. With the win, Kolkata cement their place at the top of the table, while Goa have to remain content with a point from 3 matches and are 6th. Shuttlers K. Srikanth and Parupalli Kashyap jumped to 7 places each in the latest Badminton World Federation rankings on Thursday. Srikanth jumped to 16th spot while Kashyap is 21st in the rankings. Srikanth started the week at 23rd spot and he was rewarded for his quarter-final appearance at the Denmark Open. Commonwealth Games champion Kashyap, who defeated world number 3 Han Horgensen on his way to his entry into the semi-final of the tournament in Odense, started the week at the 28th position. Roger Federer was stretched by Denis Istomin before wrapping up a 3-6, 6-3, 6-3 win in the second round of the Swiss indoors tournament on Thursday in Basel. The 5-time champion and top seed delivered 6 aces and broke his Uzbekistani's opponent 2 times to seal victory in 1 hour and 48 minutes. The Swiss is playing in his first tournament since the Shanghai Masters 2 weeks ago. Well, that's all in this edition of Breakfast News. Have a great day ahead. Thanks for watching.